You know, people go online and shop for everything, including cars. They shop for the best deal on the sales price. They start with the sticker price, that's the Monroney sticker, or the price that's quoted on the dealer/vendor website. And most of the time, that's where they stop. I want this car for this price, end of story. But that is only chapter one in your car ownership experience. And there is an entire book you need to read before you sign the contract. The sticker price is only the introduction to the book that we call the total cost of ownership. And if you're basing your purchase only on chapter one, then I have a contract for a very nice beachfront house in Arizona right on the Pacific Ocean ready for your signature. For the rest of you, let's go blast this bunk. So, there are a lot of things on this great old big pile of bunk that need to be zapped out of existence. But I will only target the big things. For things like loan interest, registration, taxes, and even tires, there's way too much variability. And things like the loan will be fully dependent on your credit rating, and if you have good credit, you will save a ton on whatever vehicle type you choose. I'm not going to account for tires because I've already blasted the bunk that EV tires are special and therefore they cost more. Go back and watch those videos if you want to know more. And about registration and taxes, come on folks. There's no way I can cover the variability across the entire United States. There are literally thousands of different registration fees and taxes across this great land of ours. Those things vary so much that that would be a full-time job to keep up with that, and they do have a job for that. It's called being an accountant. So with all of that, here we go. Let's start with comparing the average new internal combustion engine vehicle at $49,000 with the average new battery electric vehicle at $53,000. Nothing fancy, just real world averages. And I'm going to use the two you're seeing on the screen right now. Those are made up vehicles, but they're their average ICE car and they're the average electric vehicle. I'm also going to use the average miles per gallon, which for this variant is high at 26 miles per gallon. And the average for the electric vehicle is 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour. Those will be the foundations for computing fuel expenses. Then we're going to use the average cost of a gallon of gas nationwide. It is $4.25 a gallon today. And the average cost of electricity across this great nation, which is 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Then we're going to take these two vehicles, drive and own them through 8 years and 200,000 miles. Yes, I realize 25,000 miles a year is high, but this is the comparison for these two vehicle types. And it is a law of averages comparison. It is about right here that I expect our keyboard warrior trolls are sharpening their fangs and digging out their daggers. They think that only they have the right answer, and therefore anything I say in this video will be wrong, biased, and incomplete. So here's how we're going to do this. A $49,000 internal combustion engine car with a $5,000 down payment would give you a roughly $850 a month car payment over 5 years. And a $53,000 EV with a $5,000 down payment would give you about a $927 per month car payment over 5 years. So that's just the average. This is our starting point, but I'm only going to use those as base prices because not everyone will get the 5.99% APR that I use to come up with my monthly payments. You would spend about $600 extra in interest on average for the EV over those 5 years, but we're going to come back to that in a few minutes, so stop screaming at your screen. Now that we have all of that out of this way, we're going to cover the operating costs for these two vehicles to include maintenance and fuel costs. Let's start with the maintenance. And before you yell at me about where I got my numbers, I use the averages provided by that big consumer magazine that everybody likes to use. Go there and look it up yourself. For the internal combustion engine car, scheduled and unscheduled maintenance costs rise steadily as mileage climbs. Timing belts, valves, lifters, spark plugs, gaskets, and a whole plethora of fluids, including oil, coolant, and brake fluids, and things like that that the EV will never, ever need. And it adds up over time, and the cost for labor is going to pick your pockets clean. In the first 25,000 miles, the ICE will have about $1,400 worth of maintenance. By the time it gets into that 175, 200,000 mile interval, you're looking at about $5,000 every 25,000 miles in maintenance costs. Total maintenance through 200,000 miles will add up to about $28,800 for the internal combustion engine car. These are averages, period. If you want to argue about it, again, go do your due diligence and ask that consumer magazine why they agree with the number I just gave you. The EV, by contrast, is dramatically simpler. Early intervals are only going to be about $300, and even at high mileage, at 175,000 miles plus, only about $1,075 per 25,000 miles. Total maintenance for the entire 200,000 miles would come up to just about $6,300. That's immediately a $22,500 savings on routine upkeep alone. Now let's talk about fuel costs, and this is the big deal, fuel costs. We're not going to change the averages over 200,000 miles, although we know that the price of gas will go up over time, and it will increase at a rate about 3 to 4 times that of electricity. So $4.25 per gallon and about 18 cents per kilowatt hour for electricity. Steady on, 8 years. The average internal combustion engine car burns fuel at a rate that adds up to about $4,087 for every 25,000 miles driven. Over that 200,000 miles, that adds up to $32,692. The EV, only about $11.84 every 25,000 miles for a total cost of $9,474. Fuel alone for the ICE car will cost 3.5 times more than for the EV, $23,218 more. That's where the real money is won or lost. So total fuel and maintenance savings are now almost $46,000. That, my friends, is substantial. Now let's get into insurance, because everybody likes to talk about insurance. Here, the internal combustion engine car will actually win. Full coverage insurance for the average internal combustion engine car runs about $5,500 for every 25,000 miles, about every 6 months, and totals up to about $44,000 over the 200,000 miles of ownership. The EV comes in at about $6,600 per interval, totaling about $52,800. So the EV costs about $8,800 more on insurance over the full distance of 200,000 miles. And that's worst case, just to keep the trolls in their cages. Still, that's a relatively small gap compared to the fuel and maintenance savings. Now I'm going to talk about some penalties. The EV will burn through one extra set of tires over that 200,000 miles. I'll give you that. So we're going to penalize the EV with an extra $1,200 in cost. Again, just to make it fair for our poor little ICE friends who have their feelings hurt by spending almost $46,000 more on maintenance and fuel. And I'm also going to penalize the EV that $600 in extra interest on that $4,000 higher sticker price. That's $1,800 in penalties. Now we come to my favorite part. And before we look at these final numbers, let's talk about what total cost of ownership really means. Total cost of ownership, or TCO, is the complete financial picture of owning a vehicle over its entire life. Not just the purchase price you see on the sticker, but every single dollar that comes out of your pocket from the day you drive it off the lot until you send it packing to the recycler. in this case 200,000 miles. It includes the purchase price, the fuel or electricity, all the routine maintenance costs and repairs, insurance, tires, registration, and in case you need it, major repairs like a new engine or a battery replacement. Most people only look at the sticker price. That's chapter 1. But smart buyers are going to read the entire book, because that's why TCO is the number that actually matters, because it includes all the chapters in the entire book. So let's look at the bottom line, that total cost of ownership for these two hypothetical vehicles. Adding the cost of the car plus maintenance plus fuel plus insurance gives us our full ownership costs in this comparison. The internal combustion engine has a total cost of $154,492. That's on an average $49,000 new car. The EV comes in at $123,000 in total cost of ownership for the average sticker price $53,000 new electric vehicle. So the ICE is about 1.2 times higher in ownership costs than the EV. Now, this assumes no major repairs. This is a no major repair scenario, which shows the average EV is $31,119 cheaper to own and operate through 200,000 miles. But what about those major repairs? Real-world odds matter. Depending on the model of internal combustion engine car that you buy, there's a between 5 and 25% chance it will need a major engine repair, the average cost of which is about $9,000 according to that consumer magazine. This is all dependent on the brand of car and the reliability of the engine, and there are some real junkers out there. I'm looking at you, Stellantis. The EV only has about a 1 to 1.5% chance of needing a full battery replacement. And that average cost is around $15,000, and the price is dropping because batteries continue to come down in price as manufacturing improves and components become cheaper. Even in the worst case scenario, the EV needs its battery replaced and the internal combustion engine has 0 major repairs, the EV will still save you roughly $16,000 over 200,000 miles. So even adding back all the penalties to the EV, you would still come out ahead even if you replaced the battery. That's a substantial amount of money over 200,000 miles. The average battery electric vehicle is simply the lower cost choice over the long haul through the entire total cost of ownership book. All chapters, not just chapter 1, the sticker price. The fuel and maintenance advantages are so large they swallow the slightly higher purchase price and slightly higher insurance premium, and even the rare major repair does not erase the win. The numbers do not lie. At 200,000 miles, the EV is the smarter financial decision for the average driver who keeps their cars 8 to 10 years. Period. It's called the total cost of ownership and not the results after chapter 1. TCO is the number you need to work out in figuring your best deal. And you should consider this one important fact. An internal combustion engine car is between 3.5 and 25 times more likely to need a major repair through 200,000 miles than an EV, depending on the model. Is that a risk you want to assume? Would you jump out of an airplane using a parachute that is 3.5 to 25 times more likely to fail? This is important to understand before you buy the cheapest parachute and jump out of the plane. It's just common sense. Oh, and this same new car comparison can be applied to any set of used cars on the market, and the EV will still win the battle, period. When you are comparing apples to apples in terms of features and cost, the EV will always win no matter what anybody says in the comments. Thank you for going through this process with me today, and thank you for listening to this whole story. And I hope this has helped blast a bit more of that bunk for those of you who are sitting on the fence. I hope you use something similar when it comes time to make your decision on buying a new or used car, because living on the sticker price alone can cost you thousands of dollars down the road. If you're an EV owner, what savings have you noticed? If you've ever owned an internal combustion engine car, what has been your most expensive repair? Mine was $2,400 in 1985, which is over $7,500 today. Pretty expensive repair, and it was an engine repair. Please take time to like and share this video and subscribe if you're not already done so. Your support helps this channel grow and helps me make more videos like this one. I do hope to see you out there or somewhere along the route from point A to point B. Take it easy, and I will see you all real soon.